In this video, we are going to talk about the 6 basic elements of communication. These are sender-receiver, message, channel, feedback, context, and noise. First off, we have the sender-receiver, or simply the communicator. In many instructional materials and sources of information, this is often regarded as two different elements of communication, sender and receiver. But basically, a communicator simultaneously performs sending and receiving. For instance, a teacher explaining a certain concept to the class is sending. And while it is happening, he or she can hear students mumbling something in relation to the topic or see them showing nonverbal cues. And all those are feedback. In that case, the teacher is also receiving while sending. The second basic element of communication is message, which pertains to the meaning a communicator wants to convey. It consists of thoughts, feelings, ideas, attitudes, sentiments, and so much more. Another element is channel, which can be defined based on 3 categories. 1. Channels as conduits or pathways. This refers to light and sound waves that enable us to see and hear each other, respectively. Besides seeing and hearing, the rest of the 5 senses are considered as channels of communication, as per David Berlow's concept in the SMCR model of communication. 2. Channels as mode of transmission or communication media. This pertains to verbal or nonverbal modes. From the Latin word verbos, which means words, verbal communication is word-based communication, further categorized into spoken or oral, involving speaking and listening, and written, involving writing and reading. Nonverbal communication is a mode of transmission that is wordless and may involve any or a combination of the following: facial expression, gesture, body language, proximity, touch, personal appearance, silence, etc. 3. Channels as guided and unguided transmission media in relation to technological transfer of information. With guided transmission media, the data are directed along a physical path such as phone lines, twisted pair cables, coaxial cables, and optical fibers. In unguided transmission media, also known as wireless, data in form of electromagnetic waves are transferred without using any physical medium. This includes radio signal, infrared, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, etc. Another element is feedback, which is the response of the receiver to the source's message. We also have context, which refers to the interrelated conditions of communication that affect how people understand the message. It is classified into 5 types. 1. Physical context. This includes the setting where the communication takes place. The time of the day, the environmental conditions such as temperature, lighting, noise level, etc., distance between or among communicators, and so much more. 2. Social context. This refers to the nature of relationship or relationships existing between or among the communicators. It affects the formality of interaction and how messages are formed, shared, and understood. 3. Psychological context. This involves the communicator's feelings, personality, needs, desires, etc. 4. Cultural context. This pertains to the beliefs, values, and norms they share with a large group of people. And lastly, 5. Historical context. This involves the background provided by previous interaction between or among communicators, which affect the understanding of the current exchange of information. Noise, which is also known as interferences or barriers, is the last basic element of communication. It is anything that blocks or interferes with the sending, receiving, and/or understanding of the message. We will further the discussion of this subtopic in another video. Again, the 6 basic elements of communication are sender-receiver, message, channel, feedback, context, and noise. And that concludes this lesson. Thank you so much for watching this video. For updates on new lessons, please subscribe and hit the bell button.